Well, hello. It's been a while. So today I want to talk to you about what I keep getting asked all the time from BPs, senior revenue leaders, CROs. They're like, Jordan, I want to learn AI. How do I do it? Usually they won't whisper. Sometimes they'll whisper. And the question is, it almost isn't the point. And I think about the VCR. And, there was a time where we all had physical items and you would push a button and a thing would happen. And then the computer came out and it was this layer of abstraction, things like formulas and menus and programs. And all of these things created a layer of abstraction between what we wanted to do. And that layer of abstraction we had to translate. We had to learn how to use the computer. And still to this day in Excel, I use the help menu. Think about all the people that know Excel today. There's probably fewer than you think. Now, many people can get by with Excel. But the difference in this transition, right, we made the first transition from VCRs to computers, from sort of single input things, no one could ever figure out how to change that damn time on the VCR, to abstract systems, right, where there was a delta between what we were trying to do and the thing the computer could do. And we had to be the translation layer. Gen AI is different. And it's different because it is so much more capable. And now the problem is not the interface. It is the user. It is you. It is me. And so learning it, I think, goes back to the same problem we had when we got the computer. And the question is, what do you want to do? And this feels like a chicken and the egg question for a lot of people. I don't know, what can I do? So you really just need to do two things. Anytime you're doing any task, start with ChatGPT. Just start there, or Claude or Gemini. And just say, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? And you're going to go down rabbit holes that don't produce great results. You're like, it was better to do it the old way. Probably. But remember, you're not learning how to solve this task with GPT. You're learning how to think with the models. And that's an important distinction. So the best way to learn it is to start playing with it. There's something else, though. Something more important, which is to what end? And the question that you might ask yourself, and maybe one of the things that I think is so fundamental to why this thing even matters, it's information asymmetry. It's deployable information asymmetry. And that means that you now can make sense. You now can find a lot of data. You can make sense of a lot of data, and you can deploy a lot of data. And the art is in the editing, not the creation anymore. And that means editing prompts. That means editing inputs. That means editing workflows. That means knowing what you want to do. And so what we're going to do today is we're just going to go into, we'll use ChatGPT because y'all are probably most comfortable with it. And we'll use Gemini. It's a better model. It doesn't matter though. Seriously, it doesn't matter. And we're going to ask it this question. And I encourage you to ask it questions like this. So let's dive in. All right. We'll start with ChatGPT. So let's just start and say, find me any B2B SaaS brand that's vertical in the USA. So we're just going to start with a brand, so you know that there's nothing up my sleeve. And we're going to use a tool called Super Whisper to just talk to the model. Super Whisper. Great tool. Little triangle here. And most basic use of it is free, which is fantastic. Thanks to Neil for doing that. Now, this is just thinking. All it's doing is trying to clarify what I mean. And the thinking really improves the quality of the message. Now, I selected O3. People are like, what model are you selecting? Like, it doesn't matter. Use GPT-4o. It seriously doesn't matter. What you really want to do is to just start talking with it. Now, what I'm going to do is and by the way, you can use a little voice thing to talk to too. You don't have to use Super Whisper. So ask me to browse. I can go ahead and search relevant vertical SaaS. This is funny. All right. So let's go ahead and talk to GPT while it's doing this. Okay. Go ahead and pick one of those brands, whichever one that you would like. Yeah, how about Toast? And what I want you to do is I want you to pretend that you are the VP of revenue at Toast. You have just been given access to a large language model. It has access to all of your data, all of your customers. It knows everything. It is omniscient. Can you give me the 5 things that I should implement that will have the most impact on my revenue if I can properly structure this data and deploy it to either my customers or my prospects? Think long and hard about this, and remember, you can invent the data that I might have. You can be ultra creative here. So go ahead and also you can consider outside data too. So what I want you to do is, what are the 5 things that I should do specifically? How should I structure that data, and how should I deploy it? So one of the things that is just absolutely lovely about the models is that you can ask them how you should be using them. And the thing that you should spend time doing is breaking yourself out of the habits of work that you are engaged in currently. So that means things like asking questions like this. That means starting with AI. And it's a different matter to then go and do this. But you have to know what to do first. And that is the harder question. Okay, let's see how it did. Wow, it's got a table for me. Amazing. Yeah, and this is why, this is like kind of crazy. This is why having your intuition is still just as powerful as ever. What the AI is suggesting is to have dynamic menu pricing. Now, let me tell you that this is a thing that is probably amazing for a revenue throttle, where you can just dynamically change based on dwell time or line item, but you need to apply your own intellect, which is, remember when Amazon used to do this for, I think, for DVD pricing, and they got in holy hell. And so if people are jacking up the price of pad thai when it's cold or when it's hot, that's a problem. You don't want to do that. Real-time churn expansion. Yeah, I mean, this is really interesting, right? It's like, okay, great. Let's go. I figure out why people are going to churn, right? This feels like a project that you could sink your teeth in. Upsells, great. New location filings, liquor license, social follower spikes, Toast pull benchmarks, anonymized aggregate from 100 request locations. Yeah. Weekly email pulse for customers, public. This is amazing. Basically, this is determining using their own internal data. Unified menu schema, real-time loyalty IDs across Toast network. Yeah, customer spend graph. This is amazing, right? Can you imagine if when you went to a Toast restaurant, every other restaurant was so much easier? We've saved your billing preference. We've saved your ability to buy, your credit cards, everything. And we can give you loyalty across Toast customers, right? Kind of amazing. And so we're left in the same place that we were before, which is you. You are the thing that's going to make the difference. If you start playing with the models, you'll know what they're capable of. And one of the things that I can also suggest is have your developers hook up your database, your Snowflake, et cetera, to an MCP server. It's very, very easy. You just install it locally. It takes no work whatsoever, and you can start talking with all of your data. But I think that the single biggest use of AI is to deploy information asymmetry, to create experiences that if you were to ask, what exactly would my customer want here at this exact moment, you could give it to them. Now, I have a course that talks about my view on this, my framework, that talks about my pain qualified segments and my permissionless value props to weaponize data in a very particular way to deliver value to the people that you are trying to serve. But you may have different things to solve for with AI. So spend time chatting with it for any task that you do, and ask AI about specifically, how should I be using my data better? Because the one undeniable moat when intelligence becomes cheap, when it becomes prescient, when it can think better than us, when it can create its own knowledge. It's your ability to edit the models, to tell them what not to do and why, your ability to redirect them, but most importantly, your ability to understand. It's like a good German talk show. To understand exactly what the consumer wants at the other end. It comes down to people. What does the person want on the other end? What can you do to make their life just a little bit better? And throughout all of these technological shifts, that is always the question. How can I make it just a little bit better? And there's going to be a lot of charlatans that will be selling you AI tools, and those AI tools are going to be designed not to make it better, but trick them, right? Personalization, for example, which I don't really believe in. That this is not the point. The point is to structure what you have and deliver more value to your customers when basically there is a thinking machine between a customer interaction and your product. And that thinking machine can say, what does Jordan need right now? And how can I do my best to both predict it and provide it to him at the right time? And if you can do that, if you can remain centered on the customer, all you need to do is ask the question, and you can ask ChatGPT this question: how would I get it done? Click deep research and say, what is the path to do that? You can let AI guide you to use AI. And never have we had a technology that is so recursive, that can teach us how to learn and teach us how to use the tool in front of us. So go do that and spend time with it and tinker, because all of the greatest innovations started as toys. And I think a lot of people are thinking about ChatGPT as a way to Google, a way to search. And the instant you can dispel yourself of that myth, the better off you will be to make yourself unreplaceable. Have an absolutely beautiful day. And as always, thank you so much for watching.